I remember this piece of decor like it was yesterday. This I had in my room for so many years and I loved it so much. It's a little hello framed decor piece, and all I used for this project was some yarn, a little frame, some fabric glue, and some canvas. So I first started off by taking my frame here and I glued it down to my duck canvas. Now this frame was, I believe, from Michael's at the time in their little like finished home decor section, but I got it on sale. I thought it was really cute, so I filled it with the canvas, tacked it down with a little bit of fabric glue, or you can use hot glue, and just cut away all that excess once you feel like it is nice and adhered on there. And next what we're going to go ahead and do is use a pencil to kind of map out the word that we're going to do. I just wanted to do the word hello because I have an obsession with writing that word. I don't know why, I just absolutely love writing out the word hello. So I opted for this mustard yellow yarn because yellow is one of my favorite colors, and I used a little bit of hot glue to adhere down the yarn in the loopy cursive font that I chose, which was my own handwriting. I don't know where I was going with that, but I went ahead and I glued it down in this nice little cursive font, and I just love the way it turned out. It just made me happy every single day I looked at this piece, and you can again totally customize this to have whatever word you want on the inside. It turned out really cute. Here we have another IKEA hack for you guys. This was again one of my first ever IKEA hacks on this channel, and I went ahead and I got 3 of these scarf hangers here. And the thing I loved about these scarf hangers is that they actually had like this crocheted edging on them, which I think added so much detail. And I know that IKEA currently does sell these as well. But what I wanted to start off by doing was actually cutting off the little top hanger portion. And every single piece on this is just stitched together with a little bit of thread. So it's very easy to snip that thread and kind of detach the rings if you need to. But I wanted to go ahead and detach the hanging portion and then reattach with a little bit of thread all of the rings together. So I went ahead and I attached 3 sections of this scarf hanger together with a little bit of thread, just doing a couple of stitches between each of them, and you're going to be repeating this process until you have all of your scarf hangers connected. This is so super simple and easy. Just kind of catch the thread, tie it in a good knot, and that really finishes off the process. You can go ahead and hang this on the wall and decorate with some cute little clothespins or little hooks if you have them. I just use this as a cute little inspo board at the time, and I love the way that it ended up turning out. Here we have another super simple macrame project. This is definitely a beginning macrame piece if you're just kind of getting introduced to it, or you want to create a super quick and easy wall hanging. So the supplies that you're going to need is just some yarn, a pair of scissors, and a wooden dowel. So I went ahead and I cut my yarn to about 6-foot lengths of each strand. And for the start of this project, on the very left side, as you can see here, I went ahead and I actually looped 2 pieces of yarn on the start, and then every single section after that, I just did 1 piece of yarn folded in half and then looped onto our wooden dowel. So moving on from there, you're going to be creating, again, more square knots. This project only requires square knots, so it is very, very simple. A square knot is left over right and then right over left, and you're going to be doing this all the way down with the neighboring strand. So you're going to be grabbing a strand from one side, a strand from the neighboring one, and tying them together, and it's going to cascade downwards into a triangle shape until you reach the very end. So I went ahead and just repeated the process all the way down. You can actually go in and swap colors if you'd like to, and I also think it would be fun to go in with macrame cording instead of yarn, to use the macrame cord as the base of the project. And then once I was done, I went ahead and I hung it on the wall, and I used a pair of scissors to just trim away the excess yarn into an arrow shape. I feel like this really gives this piece a little bit more shape and overall a little bit more interest. Back to the dollar store projects, this was what I called a memory mobile, and I created this for $2.50. Now, that silver thing looks a little odd, and that is because it is a Let's Party grilling wok. I don't know why I opted for this, but I found it, and I was like, let's go ahead and create something with this item here. So I went ahead and I cut off 2 sides of the grilling wok, and then we're going to be moving on to our wooden clothespins. So these are some small wooden clothespins that I'm going to be using some black cording to tie a double knot right through the center section of the clothespin and cut away any of the excess strands, and then also make sure to leave probably about 12 to 20 inches of leftover string. That way you have a variance that you can kind of use as you're attaching them to your grilling wok. So here comes the fun part. We're going to be sticking our strands up through the holes that are in the wok there, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them down and then cut off any excess tails. So we basically have a ton of these clothespins that are going to be hanging from that metal section there. I think it probably would have been a little bit cuter if I was to maybe spray paint this black or spray paint it brass, but I went ahead and I tied a strand at the top there, which is going to be our hanger. You can clip all of your memories or mementos here, and it just creates a fun little mobile. Here we have a super affordable take on a mixed metal wall hanging. So this is a moon phase wall garland, and what I used for this was some chipboard, some spray paint, some chain, some wire cutters, and that was pretty much all for the project. So I started off by spraying my chipboard or my thick kind of heavyweight cardstock with some copper spray paint, and then I went ahead and I cut apart a lot of these pieces of silver chain. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and use copper chain as well, but I wanted to go in with silver chain and kind of have that mixed metal look. I really love that when it comes to minimalistic wall art. I think it adds a lot of detail and interest. So I went ahead and I cut those apart, and I actually just hot glued those on to the chain, which I would never do nowadays. I would definitely use a jump ring if I was to recreate this project, but I think back then I didn't have jump rings, and honestly this was going to be a super lightweight project in the end, so I knew the hot glue was going to hold for sure. And I think the varying lengths of silver chain across this piece kind of give a lot of detail. If you had everything at the same level, it honestly in the end would kind of just look a little bit boring. So I love mixing up the lengths of chain for those vertical sections to make sure that the moons are kind of hanging at different levels once you actually hang it up on the wall. And this is what the chain base is going to look like, and the next step is going to be cutting out some moon shapes. So you can totally print out some shapes if you'd like to, or you could freehand them like I did. I just kind of penciled them onto a piece of paper, cut them out. I love the organic look of it, and I just glued them on with some hot glue, and that finished off your wall hanging. I personally love a good hanging planter, and I also love concrete, so this project is basically the best of both worlds for me. So I started off by mixing up my concrete mix with a little bit of water here. You're going to want this to kind of basically be the consistency of like a pancake batter. As you can see here, this one is a little bit thicker, but that totally works as well. And the mold that I'm going to be using is actually just a simple little, I guess, clear solo cup. And then in the middle there, I'm applying a Dixie cup, and I'm pressing it down on the inside. Next, what I'm doing is grabbing some hemp cording or whatever string you want the hanging planter to be hanging from, and you're going to tie knots onto the ends of them. The knots are basically going to be like extra support, so once we press this down into the concrete, the knot is kind of going to be covered in cement and allow it to not be pulled out. If it's just a string, you could imagine kind of being able to pull the string right out, but that knot is just like an extra reinforcement. So you're going to want to go ahead and let that dry overnight or until it is nice and cured, and then pull off your plastic cup in the end and remove the Dixie cup on the inside. Now you can go ahead with a sand file or whatever you have, some sandpaper, a nail file. I mix those words together to make sand file to sand away any excess concrete. Tie your strings into a loop at the top, and that finishes off your concrete planter. Now this next project is actually one that was inspired by anthropology. I bought a wall hook a while back, and so many people were like, can you please like recreate this on your channel? And so I did. I basically found this wooden wall hook blank from Michael's or Joann's, some craft store, and I ended up spraying it with my brass spray paint, so it had the similar brass look to the anthropology piece. And then I went ahead and Googled the constellation for Leo. That is what I personally am, but you can totally change this up for your own star sign. I just did Leo for myself, and then I went in with a little bit of black acrylic paint and just dotted this on wherever the stars were in that constellation. And then I connected them with some lines and just kind of cursively wrote Leo at the bottom. I guess it's kind of lucky that I'm a Leo because I didn't have to write that much. And then around the edge, I went ahead and I just did a little dotted kind of pattern just to add a little bit more detail, and that finishes off your wall hook. This brass mirror here is one of my favorite DIYs I've ever created. I've actually done a couple different versions of it on my channel throughout the years, and it's just such a fun project to create. So all you're gonna need for this is actually some artificial flowers and a mirror of choice. So these artificial flowers are just from a craft shop. You can get them at the Dollar Tree or Joann's, Michael's, wherever you wanna get them from. And I just went ahead and started by giving them a good dousing of brass spray paint. And this is actually going to just be our first layer of spray paint, kind of just to give an overall coat of that brass color. And next what you're gonna want to do is actually kind of find the placement on your mirror for these pieces and use some heavy duty hot glue to glue and adhere them down to your mirror. So once you have them all glued and adhered down, this is where we're going to go in with our brass spray paint once again, and making sure to cover up any of the mirror sections and really thoroughly coat those pieces in that brass spray paint to give it a full-on finished look. And of course, we're going to need something to hang this up with, so I didn't want to use this white yarn here, so I just actually sprayed it with the gold spray paint, and it ended up looking great in the end. I adhered it on the back side of our mirror, and that finishes it off. I'm sure we've all seen these mesh trash bins at the dollar store, at Walmart, at Target, wherever it might be, but they're always not the cutest, so I want to share with you guys how you can add just a little bit of faux leather to this piece to make it more rustic and overall just cuter in the end. So the first thing that I did was I went ahead and I marked 3-inch wide sections and then drew a line to create a 3-inch wide strip that I could then cut with my scissors, because we are going to then go ahead and fold over those raw edges into the middle. So we're going to be ending up with a 1.5-inch wide strip of this leather material. So you're going to want to do this, that way you have nice clean edges on the front there, and then on the front side of your wastebasket, using a generous amount of hot glue, you're going to be applying your faux leather material and then creating kind of a little loopy handle at the top, which again is just for visual interest. There's no like rhyme or reason to this piece. And then I cut off the excess at the bottom there and went in with a little bit of white embroidery floss. I probably should have done this with like some jute cording or something just to match the vibe a little bit better, but I think it turned out cute nonetheless. So I went in and I just added a little X shape to secure the leather in place a little bit more, but also add a bit of detail to that edge there. I think this adds a nice touch. Tie it off on the back side, repeat on the opposite side, and that finishes off this basket. This chunky tassel blanket is one of my favorite throw blankets I've ever created. I actually still own it to this day and style it all the time throughout my apartment. So I started off with this blanket base, which was actually from Target, and then I went ahead and I grabbed a couple of yarns that I thought that kind of complemented the blanket, and I cut them into 12-inch long sections. And you're gonna want a ton of these to create a ton of different tassels along your piece. So I'm using a really chunky wide crochet hook to go through the knitted section of this blanket, and I'm going to then go ahead, fold my yarn in half, and pull it through the loop that we created with our crochet hook. So you're going to pull through all those strands of yarn. Once all 3 of them are pulled through, you're going to then go ahead and pull the tails through that loop, and that finishes off your first tassel. Now, to determine kind of the pattern you want to go with or where you want to apply your tassels, you can map it out first if you'd like to, but I just went ahead and did chunks all around the blanket, making sure that I had kind of like an even spaced amount of chunks of different colors of yarn that just add pattern, texture, and dimension to the piece. You can also just go around the edge and do like a tasseled edge if you want to, but I just wanted to mix up the yarn, so I did a variant of white yarn. I also added in some that had these gray kind of flecks throughout it, and then the end I just created these little tassel sections on the blanket, which just kind of give a little bit of detail.